Well, last week,
And here
a
we are.
GIF turned up of me and Davy Boy Smith from 29 years ago. And people were going, oh, this is, nobody cared about it at the time. I remember that, right? Because you got two English fellas doing whatever. A few people have told me since, oh, that was a big thing, right? Again, all these things change and whatever. In 2000, there was a group of young wrestlers that came along that started getting some British tapes and watching Johnny Saint and then Daniel Bryan and a lot of the lads, all them young lads that started adding bits of British stuff into their stuff. We were doing that in 1993. There's matches of me and Chris doing stuff in 1993 that we were doing stuff then. So you want to be able to get to a point where your stuff will hold up in 30 years and make sure that there's no see-through stuff. Again, some people it doesn't matter. But if you're a normal person like me and you don't have that magic it quality of some type, you want your stuff to hold up. Well, that proved a point. And there's a lot of things out there, and I don't want to talk about me, but there's all these things that show up with me that people I follow. Twitter's a tool for me to occasionally go on to look at GIFs because I see old matches. Oh, I haven't seen that. Let me watch that. And I watch stuff, but they only show the good stuff, right? So you need to be studying your job. When I go to work now, my phone is in my bag. I am not looking at my phone. My wife knows I'm at work, right? There is nothing. I am getting paid by the company I work for to learn how to be a rest. Or in my case, I'm doing my work. So from the second I walk in the building, I am trying to get better at my job. I am helping anybody who wants to try and help. I am trying to learn myself. I'm trying to figure out, well, okay, how the cameras work here. How do this go and watching who does what. I'm going backstage and watching people do promos and sometimes offering advice if I see them struggling or watching or seeing that talking to talent, right? What's going on? Well, have you got any ideas for this? And we'll have open discussions. I've ended up doing last week, people showing me their matches on the phones from the week before or 2 weeks or a year before. Can you help me with this? Well, look, if you did this towards the camera, I could actually see it. If you do that and I can't call it. So I hope this is all tying into the thing.
Absolutely.
If you don't do things right, the announcers can't, not only can you not see it, so there's your GIF thing. If you do something opposite from where the cameras can get you, you can't get it gift or you can't see it, but also the announcers can't call it and, or they're not going to talk about it. Jim Ross, unfortunately, gets, which he shouldn't,
It's
because he's
funny.
trying to
Yeah.
help talent. He gets people who criticize him for calling them out because he says that's not a good pin. Well, he's trying to help you. He's not trying to hurt you. He's trying to help you by saying you need to tighten your pin up. Or that's a lackadaisical armbar there. Perhaps if you learn how to do it well, he could talk about it and then put you over. Right. So I have that set that we're talking about the feelings that I had in when I was a teenager. I
Sure.
sometimes get that when I look around the building and I see people on the phones all day long. When you've got 1 day a week to try to get better, I would be trying to get better. I would be asking or trying to learn something, right? You've got enough time on your own to play whatever it or to chat with people or do something else on your other days that you're not at work. You should be trying to get better. I don't care one way or the other. It's entirely up to you, right? My job in where I came from in NXT, I would politely go and talk to people. Maybe you might want to invest a bit more time into this, then maybe you'd be better at it. Instead of complaining about everything, right? This isn't a fair job, right? So take all that out of it. Sometimes it works out. It doesn't matter how good you are. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it does. And that's not my problem. What I can tell you is none of us who have got to not sometimes that's it. There's the occasional person, but 99% of us who've got to anywhere in this job or had a career out of it I've had to put a lot of time and hard work into figuring it out. If you're spent all your day messing about on your phone when you could be asking people and learning people, that's a problem to me. It, it is and it isn't. It's one of those things I've had to shut off in my brain.
Well,
Now, it doesn't mean, and I'm going to say this out loud, don't come to me asking me just because you think you got to ask, because I will see through you quicker than you wished I could. And and now that I've said that out loud, in my old job, it was my job to help, and I would help everybody. If I think you're just asking me now because you think you should, I better go and pretend that I'm asking. Don't waste my time, because I'd rather be helping somebody who cares.
you are all about sincere requests, sincere
Sincere regrets.
reaches out for
I
help.
had to put up with
Right,
a lot of that when I'd see
right,
people, and I'd
right.
go, I'd be a bit like,